In February 2012, at the start of February 2012, I was the finance manager at the Naval Military and Air Force Club. I had a staff of 1. By the end of February 2012, I was the general manager of the Naval Military and Air Force Club and had a staff of 25. And it became fairly obvious within about a week that some leadership training could be handy in such a transformation. And like Peter said, you can develop all the technical skills you want. Accounting, finance, no problem, that's easy. But when you're leading people, and particularly leading an organisation that needs to change and reinvent itself continuously, it's quite a challenge. And if you haven't had all that leadership training and knowledge in the past, it becomes pretty evident pretty quickly that you need to get it. So fortunately, I was enrolled in this course, and it's been a great journey for me. The best learnings, it's hard to pick from so many, and you've heard the group talk about lots of different ones along the way. For me, it's about employee engagement. If I can walk around the club, the Naval Military Club, and see the employees using discretionary effort and being engaged in their job and really trying to make their role a success, then I know the leadership strategies are working. And I'd have to say 12 months ago that was a bit uncertain, but I'm seeing continuous improvement in that, and to me it's a bit of a litmus test of where we are on leadership. Also, what's interesting is how leadership inspires higher performance from our staff, so the organisation runs more smoothly. But in many ways, their work experience at work is dependent on how well I lead them. And for me, I realised in one of the modules just how responsible the job is. It's probably more responsible than what you think when you take it on. All of a sudden, what occurs in their working life is very dependent on the sorts of decisions we take as leaders. The application of benefits, well, the win-win goals were very good for us. We wrote our first business plan during the course, which might sound surprising. We've always had strategic plans, but never got around to a business plan, and so I got together with the management team and did that. We set a goal of making a profit last year for the 12-13 year, and we did. The previous year was a loss of 140 grand, so to turn that around and make a small profit was a great achievement for the club. We conducted a repair of some brickwork around the club that had been left for many years. It was a too hard project. It was a bit complex. It needed underpinning, it needed services to be repaired and brickies and all that. So there was another goal that we went and did. And again, as I said, it had been there for about 15 years. It was in the too hard basket, so glad to get that done. And we introduced monthly subscription processes for our members so that it would be more convenient for them to renew. So they're all good win-win business goals for the club and the management team. The course project is developing my managers. Out of the 25 staff, I have 3 managers in that team, and they're all doing leadership courses through LMA right now, the success strategies for team leaders. I also feel more confident now as a leader. When I was appointed the job, I hadn't done that level of leadership before, felt quite uncertain about it. And one example of that confidence is where I went to the board and successfully argued to sponsor the Defence Team Centre's annual gala dinner, which was a big step for the club because we haven't done that before. And the idea about it was to get in front of 400 people with the club's logo. We get a mention at the dinner and a little bit more engagement with the defence community in particular, the business community. And following on from that, we've joined DTC now as a member, so we go to the networking functions and so on to help build the brand of the club. So that's just an example of being more confident about going and doing new things that haven't been done before, and knowing that you could get some resistance at the board to that type of activity, but having the confidence to go and argue for it. In terms of transforming the organisation, we're still on that journey. Said in our discussions how it takes time to build those changes in thinking, those changes in attitudes and behaviours take time to change. It doesn't happen overnight. You can lead, set the goals, then you've got to reinforce all that to make it all happen. I have seen a lot of benefits. Gary, my coach, has seen a lot of benefits in the leadership of the club. So it is evident, and it's highly beneficial for us. The return on investment, I calculated at $160,000 per annum. Now, as I said before, we turned around the club. We lost 140, made a small profit. So that sort of gives you some idea of the magnitude of change. But importantly, sales this year are up 11% for the club. That will translate into a benefit of $150,000. And getting an increase in sales when you can't advertise or do anything to gimmicky, I think is a good achievement for where we're at the moment. In terms of the next goals, before the next workshop, we'll be reviewing our business plan for the year to go through and see what changes we need to make there. And personal goal is I'm doing lap swimming again, which I haven't done for a while. I'll go back to the pool and build on that. Finally, just want to thank yourself, Jim, in particular, because you're a magnificent facilitator, the way you presented all the coursework so clearly and at such a level of understanding that we could all take it on. Obviously Michael, my mentor, and Gary, my coach, and particularly participants for volunteering so much interesting stories from the work and the sort of things you're going through. Teresa's experience, for example, on the staff problems. I think I'll remember that. And Kirsten's. Some real classics there. And even Carlo, the ways that revenue generation, Carlo, is really quite magnificent what you're achieving. And just hearing all that gives me a bit of incentive to go and achieve similar sorts of things. So thank you.